Hey guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews, where I'm going to continue reviewing the Hunger Games films. This time with the 2013 sequel, Catching Fire. Spoilers ahead for those who have not seen the film yet. So you've been warned. If you've decided to stay, that means you've already seen the film or you don't care about spoilers. Because picking up 1 year, or picking up almost directly after the last film left off, Katniss and Peter have returned to District 12 as the victors of the 74th Annual Hunger Games. So yeah, 1 year after, okay. And they're moving into Victor's Village, the place in the district for the victors of the Hunger Games, where previously only their mentor Haymitch has lived. And they're sent off on their victors tour, on their victory tour to the other districts. And shortly after they get back, the 75th Annual Hunger Games are announced. And to celebrate the third quarter quell, the reaping will only be made up with the victors of previous Hunger Games, which means Katniss is automatically going back into the arena. She has no choice. As is Haymitch, but during the reaping, Peter volunteers as tribute for Haymitch. And so it begins. They're torn away from District 12 once again, and trained, and are back in the arena, which this time around is in the middle of a lake. Oh, okay. But one that's been sectioned off like a clock. And so the 75th Annual Hunger Games begin, and it is a bloodbath. With tributes dying left and right, because there can only be one victor. And now, the capital are already mad at Katniss and Peter for their behavior during the 74th Hunger Games in the previous film, for their trick with the berries. Now, they're seeing that as an act of defiance. So, they've basically done this reaping to force Katniss back into the ring to punish her for, for that act of defiance. And this is where she's dubbed the Mockingjay for the first time. This is as to set up the next installment of the franchise. So, now, Suzanne Collins returns as an executive producer for the film. And of course, we have Jennifer Lawrence returning in the role of Katniss. And now they also have to pick allies from other districts to help them during the games. And so Finnick Odair steps in as the main ally during the games. Now, Finnick Odair is a tribute from District 4. And of course now, with Finnick's help mainly, Katniss goes on to win the 75th Hunger Games. And upon realizing they've now failed to off Katniss during the games because she was meant to die here apparently, the capital attack District 12. Okay, so now we have the main plot of that out of the way. What do I think of the Hunger Games catching fire? Well, it's a good film. Nowhere near as good as the first, though. So, now, stick around for the next episode, as I'm sure you're going to be already knowing which review is coming next. So until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a Semajical time. Hi guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews, where, for the last couple of episodes, we've been reviewing the Hunger Games films. And we're going to be continuing that. Now with the third installment in the series, that would be Mockingjay Part 1, released in 2014? Yeah, hold on a sec. I might need to double check these release dates in case I've been getting them wrong without realizing it for the last couple of episodes. No. Yes, 2014. So, yes. And basically, this, now picking up after the end of Catching Fire, we skip ahead one more year, and the rebellion, which was starting to form at the end of Catching Fire, is now in full swing. and they're sending out their troops left and right to take down the capital, and they brand Katniss as the Mockingjay. Well, the capital are using Peter as a tool against Katniss. Well, as a weapon against Katniss. And what the rebellion are doing is they're starting an uprising against the Hunger Games. With the District 13 President Coin being the one pulling all the strings. But with people being killed left and right, the rebels plan on executing President Coriolanus Snow. So yes, they're planning to actually storm the capital and seize him, basically, before, and then imprison him. And the capital are already mad at Katniss for her behavior during the 75th Quarter Quell. I mean, the third Quarter Quell, the 75th Hunger Games. So, now, guys. That is where part 1 ends as a film. So that's where this review of part 1 is going to have to end. Now, it's going to be hard now to actually rate the film as a standalone film because it's a part 1 of a 2-part story. But all I can say is, honestly, to be continued. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have us a magical time. And now, it continues. Hey guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews, where it's time to review The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 from 2015. Now, my opinion of Mockingjay Part 1 is, well, it's just a setup for what we're about to talk about here. It's an okay build-up. It's not the best third installment in a series. So now let's move on to the continuation and conclusion of the original Hunger Games story. So, Katniss, having just been named the Mockingjay, officially by the rebellion, is sent out to the districts to make propaganda videos, which then does catch the attention of the capital. And specifically Coriolanus Snow, who is now being imprisoned since part 1 and is awaiting his execution. Now, I should just point out he's already dying at this point. Spoilers. I should have called spoilers in the last episode as well. So Katniss goes to visit him in his cell, which happens to be a rose garden inside a greenhouse. And they have one last chat. Now, when he is brought out into the courtyard to be executed, Katniss steps forward and instead of executing him, she executes Coin, the other one of her manipulators. Now, also, this is where we come to find out now, Prim dies in this part in an explosion, and we find out that the family friend Gail Hawthorne was the one to do, or the one to cause the devastating blow. But Katniss's actions get her sent back to District 12, and Peter decides to go and join her there. Now, Peter was conditioned to hate Katniss by the Capitol, and then reconditioned the other way by the rebellion. So it all ends on a happy note at the end, even though the epilogue is just a silent epilogue. So, and of course, Coriolanus Snow dies choking on his own blood. And so ends the main story of the Hunger Games in these first 4 films. So, what do I think of this film? Well, this is where all the excitement happens for the whole series now. It's where the war ends and everything goes back to normal. As normal as it can be for Panem. As a film on its own, it's good. But then to judge it alongside part 1, because these 2 films are meant to be judged as a whole story, seeing as they're both 2 parts of the same story. Yeah. It makes part 1 all that more exciting. Because this one's more exciting. And now, as a whole series, I can't really do that yet, because there's one more film in the franchise to review. And we're going back back in time for this one. Yeah. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And that's in the next episode. The prequel to the original Hunger Games. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a magical time. Hey guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews, where for the last 4 episodes now, I've been reviewing the film adaptations of Suzanne Collins' Hunger Games series. So, now, we close the lid on that saga by jumping ahead to 2023. Or is it back to 10 years since the Hunger Games started? Well, yeah, for the film adaptation of the prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Now, spoiler alert, in case for those of you who don't know, but this film tells the story of a young Coriolanus Snow as it becomes a student mentor to the female tribute from District 12, Lucy Grey-Baird, as she is chosen in the Reaping to compete in the 10th annual Hunger Games. And under his mentorship, she is able to scrape a win. But he doesn't go about this by not cheating. Oh Lord, no, no, no. He helps her cheat her way to the win. Which then gets him sent off as a punishment to train as a peacekeeper. Now, the peacekeepers are basically the corrupt police of Panem, the fictional future the story takes place in. And he's sent to train with them for 20 years. And well, he's originally sent to District 8 to train. He requests to be sent to the barracks at District 12 so he can find and reunite with Lucy. Now, it's not long before he learns he scored the highest in their academy tests and is sent off to District 2 to train as an officer. But this is not until after he's watched his best friend die. And in the end, he's released from his punishment. and is able to go off to university. But this is after being adopted by his best friend's family. And he starts out as a student at the university. Who was being raised by his grandmother because his parents are both dead, so he's an orphan, alongside his cousin Tigress, who's 2 years older than him. That's Tigress, by the way. Wow. So basically, this is the story of how Coriolanus Snow, the president of Panem from the mainline films, rises to power. And the songbird of the title I picked up was Lucy Greybeard. But they do have literal songbirds, the Jabberjays, in the film, or Mockingjay. So now this film, for the first act, takes place 64 years before the events of before the events of the first film. In the second act, I think it's like 10 years later, or something like that, with a more young adult Coriolanus Snow training as a peacekeeper. And then in the third act, when he's sent off to officer training, they're putting him in, and then released from his punishment. They actually put him in a position of power. So, it ends with him in that position of power. Now, he can go to university, whereas he couldn't before. Wow. And how much of a butthole can Dean Hightower be? Highbottom, sorry. Dean Highbottom. Anyway, and yes, there are snakes in it, engulf all of the tributes, or near all of the tributes in the arena. Now, all that being said, what do I think of the film? Oh, sorry, no, except for Lucy, because that's how they cheat her way to the win. Anyway, what do I think of the film, all that being said? As a prequel, it's a solid story, and I actually think it's better than Mockingjay. Yeah, that's right, I said it. So that wraps up my reviews of the 5 films in the Hunger Games saga. Hopefully next time I'll be reviewing episodes 4 to 7 of Strange Hill High. I can't promise that will be the next review in case it isn't. But until then, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a Semajical time. Hi guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews, where it's time to dive into the world of Dr. Seuss. Not quite Dr. Seuss, but one of his stories that's been adapted for horror in recent years. Who's ever... okay, I'm taking that a lot of you have heard of The Grinch, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But have many of you heard of the 2022 horror film, The Mean One? Do I see a show of hands? The Mean One, or as I'm gonna call it here, How the Grinch Killed Christmas. Okay. Now, basically, spoilers ahead for those who've not managed to see the film yet. But The Mean One tells the story of Cindy Lou, who lives in a town called Newville, not Whoville, who, as a young girl, watches her mother slain right in front of her by a non-human, tall green monster with claws, wearing a Santa suit. And 20 years later, she returns to Newville, not Whoville, to try and face her fears, because that left her traumatized as it would have done, and she has PTSD because of it. Now, she is returned to her old childhood town 20 years later, with her father in tow, and the killings start up again. And so she goes round spreading the warnings that her Christmas monster has returned, even though the police and mayor of the town are blaming her for her actions 20 years prior, killing Christmas. But there's a young police deputy and an elderly man. Now, she actually watches her father slain through the window of her front door. And like I said, a young police deputy and an elderly man team up to help her hunt the monster. The elderly man claims to be Zeus of ancient Greek myth. But he has a white beard and he wears a Santa suit. Now, we do actually see the monster a few times throughout the film. And he only comes out and murders Yes, I said the word. Murders. Only those who sing Christmas songs or do anything relating to the holiday. And I kid you not, when you actually see the monster up close, he looks exactly how I personally would have pictured a horror monster version of the Grinch, who, by the way, in this film is referred to as the mean one of the title. But don't worry, we do have a very satisfying ending to the film, which I'm not going to reveal here in case I interest you in watching. So, but it perfectly adapted the Dr. Seuss children's story into a horror film. And the only workaround for this is they had to turn Whoville to Newville, and all of its citizens from those little creatures called Who, yes, the Who's, to humans. Now, but this was a good film, in my opinion. And, well, that's it. If any of you have seen the film, let me know what you think of it in the comments below. And join me next time when I'm hoping that I'm going to have the review of Strange Hill High episodes 4 to 7 ready for you. But just in case I don't, look out for something different. That's all I'm going to say to that now. So, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a magical time. Hey guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews, the review show for reviewing anything in general here on YouTube, apart from music at the moment. Well, yeah, apart from music at the moment. There may be some reviews of some of my favourite classic songs later down the line. But right now, though, I've got 3 words to say to you. Twisted Childhood Universe. That's right. What is the Twisted Childhood universe? Well, it's going to be a new franchise of horror films. Um, Let me reiterate that. A new franchise of independently made horror films, which features horror versions of childhood favourite characters. And the film I'm reviewing here today is the first in that franchise, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Now, spoilers for those who haven't managed to see the film yet. But this film features a group of teenagers that ventures into the 100-acre woods where they are attacked and maimed and killed by monstrous versions of Pooh and Tigger. Yes, we do see Christopher Robin in the film as well. He is actually one of the survivors. Well, also we think. And by the time you're seeing this, me and my brother would have sat down to watch this nearly 2 months ago. So, and well, for a film made on a shoestring budget, yeah, I'm gonna tell you what it cost them to make this film. $50,000. But it ended up making back 5.2 million, so more than 10 times its budget in the box office. Now, it came out last year, 2023, and at first, we were going to ignore it until we found out this whole universe of these films was coming out, and now we're making it our mission to see them all. So what did we think? Well, it is schlock, but it's good schlock. The acting is terrible. Like, literally, none of the actors here know how to act. It's like, and if you've been up at arm's end about watching this because it might potentially ruin your childhood, you don't have anything to worry about. Just watch it and enjoy making fun of it, like my brother and I did. So, so yes, we actually enjoyed the film. It was fun to watch and make fun of. What else is there to say? Now, guys, I can't promise what the next review is going to be of, in case it's not that thing. So, but there will be another episode soon, in a couple of days. But until then, you'll have to wait and see what it's going to be. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a Semajical time. Hey guys, welcome back to Semajical Reviews, where it's time to get back into the horror game. Now, I know the last two films I've reviewed were also horrors. This is the third one in a row now, but it's for Hereditary, the 2015 A24 Pictures film directed by Ari Aster. Um, Now, for those who haven't seen the film yet, I must give a spoiler warning. Because there are spoilers ahead. But for those who have or just don't care about spoilers, stay tuned. Because this film follows a very weird family whose whole bloodline is possessed by the Demon King Payman. Well, let me explain quickly. The film actually begins showing us the family life of a mother, father, and her two sons after the funeral of the family's grandmother, the mum's mum. And then we actually just get to see how weird the family's youngest child, Charlie, is. She's the young daughter. As the first thing we actually see her do that shows us she's possessed is walk as if in a trance across her family's field. Now, the film actually starts to pick up after an accident involving Charlie. As her brother has to rush her to the hospital from a party he's taken her to because she started to choke, and he has to swerve to avoid hitting a little to avoid hitting a kid who's wandered out into the road, and doing so accidentally kills Charlie. And so the mum, after this, out of grief, starts starts turning to mediumship, and this is where the weird stuff really happens, and all the freaky stuff for this film. As she actually first gets in contact with Joan, a lady who is heavily into mediumship and uses a and well, ritualistically perform seances to talk with her lost son, who tragically, according to the film's story, died at the age of 7. And this then prompts her to start doing seances to talk to Charlie. And doing this is what actually starts the possessions. Yes, seances are bad news in horror films, guys. Don't ever do them. Okay. And nothing is quite as it seems in the film to begin with. And we just see how weird the mum and the son are. The only family member who is not having any of this is the dad. So, well, if there's one thing the film's particularly good at, is subverting your expectations. Right when you expect something to happen, it turns around, it turns the tables and doesn't happen. Okay. Although, now this is just where I get to my opinion of the film now, guys. It has a very slow build up, but once the actual weird stuff begins to happen properly, it is proper freaky. And it is a great film. Well worth a watch if you're into psychological horror. Anyway, guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you've seen the film yourself, let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'll be interested to know. Until next time, thanks for watching and have us a magical time.